change.
We're going to run short on time. I want to get to a couple of other topics. I'd like to ask you both if you believe that man has played a part in our changing climate, in global warming, and if he has or hasn't, what do we do about it?
Sure.
We've taken the United States out of the Paris Accords. What do we do now?
Sure. So at the Pentagon, I helped conduct one of the first studies that the U.S. military ever did on the effects of climate change on the U.S. military. Our bases, our ranges, the melting in the Arctic so that the Russians can put strategic weapons there. We just took it as a planning factor, right? The military's job is to plan for all contingencies. So yes, I believe that climate change is happening because we can see it. Our military believes it's happening.
Have we had a role in it?
Sure. Yes, I think. Listen, I'm someone who believes in science and believes in facts, and I think you just have to talk to the farmers in our district, talk to them about their concerns about climate change.
Should we be in the Paris Accord?
I believe so. Yes.
Congressman Bishop.
I do believe that there is a clear evidence of a change in our climate in this world. Whether or not it's man-made, who knows? I believe in science as well, but we live in a cyclical world, a cyclical Earth that's gone through many different forms of different weather patterns and ice ages.
Not all of which have been survivable.
Not all of them were survivable, but they weren't caused by human beings. And so I think the more important question is pollution and keeping things safe. And while she's talking about national issues, international issues, I want to talk about Michigan. What we've done for the environment right here in Michigan to protect our Great Lakes, to ensure that the water is pure, that our invasive species are under control. That's what we're working on. Bipartisan, working together to ensure our Great Lakes are safe from predators.
Can I just step in?
Quickly.
I know it's Halloween season, but you just can't put on a mask and become an environmentalist because you're in a tough election cycle, Mike. Okay? Your voting record for 21 years has done nothing to protect our water, to protect our air. You've made it easier to go oil and gas drilling in our Great Lakes, and you've made it harder to prosecute the companies that are moving gas and oil in our pipelines. So you can't just switch because you're in a tough cycle and because it polls well for you.
In the immortal words of John McCain, you either don't know the truth or you're not telling the truth. And that's the bottom line. I have done so much in my career to address Great Lakes issues. My whole family spends time in the Great Lakes. That's been our heritage in this state. I live here. And future generations depend on what we do. And I'll tell you this, before she was against it, she was for Line 5 across the Straits of Mackinac. I have done everything in my power to ensure that we get a solution to that problem. It is an impending nightmare, catastrophic event, and I have done everything I can. I like the solution that they came up with to build a tunnel underneath, away from the water, but we have got to continue to put our money where our mouth is and not just spit rhetoric back.
I can only give you both about 30 seconds on this last question.